Notice in today's gospel reading the invitation that our Lord gives to all of us. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. It's a very short gospel passage, but it's very important for us to think about. And this message isn't just for us. This message is for everyone. It's for non-believers also. So I had mentioned before, imagine what it would be like having no faith, having no hope for the future. It would make life kind of miserable. I mean, yes, when you're young, everything is exciting. You want to experience new things. But as we get older, we realize that a lot of these things that we thought could make us happy, in fact, do not. And often I refer to, the rich and the famous. They have tons of money. They're good looking. They go from one relationship to the next. They're never happy. They're never satisfied. Some of them are on drugs. Some of them even commit suicide. So it's very unfortunate. The things of this world can and do contribute to our present happiness and our well-being, but not to the extent that we would like. And we need more. We were created for more. We have a desire for more. And this desire is really our desire for God. As St. Augustine beautifully states, O Lord, you have made us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in thee. And, so it's for people who are non-believers also, but it's also for us. Is it not true that many of us are carrying heavy burdens? For some people, it may be physical ailments, getting old, arthritis, and all kinds of aches and pains. For many other people, it may be their financial situation. Maybe they've lost their job. Maybe they have difficulty making payments. These are huge burdens for many people to carry. And for some other people, it may be, the burden of relationships. Parents caring for their children and their children who have gone astray, or their children who, kind of disappoint them in many ways and bring them grief. Maybe a child who's on drugs or something like that. So there's many burdens in our lives, and sometimes our own sinfulness. And not just the fact that, a person may be committing certain sins, but sometimes our inability to be the way that we would like to be. So in other words, you want to be charitable, but you fall short. You want to be a good speaker, but you fall short. And these two can be burdens. So we have so many different burdens that we have, so many things that weigh us down, sometimes cause us to worry. But we need to heed our Lord's invitation to come to him, and he will give us rest. So what does this coming to him mean? Well, part of it is having a relationship with him, entrusting ourselves to him. And in prayer, we communicate with God, and it's like communicating with a good friend, far better than a good friend, the greatest friend that we can ever conceive of. The one who loves us more than anyone else could love us. In other words, God. So we come to this being who loves us. We come to Christ. So yes, we do this through prayer. It's interesting how our Lord says, come to me. He doesn't just say, pray to me. He says, come to me. So when he was here on earth 2,000 years ago, people physically came to him. They brought the sick, the lame to him. Sometimes they brought their problems to him, and he would help them. But we come to our Lord partially through prayer, but we also come to him insofar as he's present in the Eucharist. We come to him when we come to pray before the tabernacle. We come to him, when we have adoration, when we have our Lord exposed on the altar in the monstrance. We are coming to him, and simply being in his presence, because we come to honor him, we will receive blessings and graces, which is not to say that we should be just twiddling our thumbs. We need to adore our Lord. We need to pray to him. But coming to him is so, so important. And when we come to him, we put our trust in him. So as people of faith, we also have hope. We have hope for something better than the present. For an atheist, They can only hope for the present world. They can only put their hope in the things of this world. They don't believe in the afterlife. They don't believe in God. They don't believe that God can help them. Think of people during the time of the communist, communism still exists, unfortunately, but people who were taken away to Siberia or various camps, or think of the Nazis, people who were taken to the concentration camps, and many lost hope. Many even lost faith in God, which is very unfortunate. But those who were strong in their faith, many saintly individuals like St. Maximilian Kolbe and so many others, they still had hope, and they were still able to give of themselves. They were still able to serve the people amongst them. And they never lost their hope. They never lost their faith. And their faith and their hope gave them the courage and the strength they needed to be able to do the things that they did. Were they delivered from their predicament? No. St. Maximilian Kolbe died. He was martyred, basically. They injected him with cyanide. But they had a positive attitude. It's interesting that they've done studies in regards to prayer. And many doctors or psychiatrists, psychologists will say that their clients or patients who pray, they do much better. And I mentioned before, they did studies where they have two groups of people. They both have the same disease. One group prays, the other group doesn't, and the group that prays does much better. They also did a study where they have two groups of people with the same disease or whatever, and neither one of those groups prays, but there's a third group that's appointed to pray for one of those groups, but they don't know the people who are suffering or have some sort of ailment. They don't know which group is being prayed for. So the group that is being prayed for also does better. And it just goes to show the power of prayer. And if we just understand that prayer is powerful and efficacious, it already gives us hope. It already gives us something that kind of lifts our spirits and gives us the ability to overcome the burdens that we are presently facing, maybe not overcome completely, but to be able to carry them more willingly, more courageously, and in such a way that it doesn't drag us down. It doesn't make us miserable. It doesn't cause us to give in to despair or depression. So let us be hopeful. Let us trust in the Lord, and let us always have faith in our Lord's love for us and His presence to us, no matter where we are, no matter what we may be suffering.